Hi, my name is Rachel. If you are already subscribed here on YouTube, then you're probably already familiar with me. My username on TikTok is Portraits of Ghosts. And if you read the title, you can see what this video is about. It's about TikTok's like insane treatment of their creators. I'm actually really floored. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am, what I do, because most likely you're not familiar with me because I'm actually nobody. I'm a nobody from Alabama. I happen to get lucky and get a fairly decent following on TikTok. The first video I ever posted that went, semi-viral, I think it had like 500,000 views, was about my dad interviewing Ted Bundy. It was a true story. And for a while on TikTok, I strictly told true scary family stories. And unfortunately, those are plentiful in my family. Like my family has literally had multiple creepy landlords, multiple stalkers. And at some point, people really told me they liked the way that I told stories, and I stopped feeling comfortable sharing some of the ones I had left. I did not tell all of my family stories on TikTok because some of them were, well, and I was also worried about getting banned on TikTok, which is ironic, I guess, now, but some of them dealt with really serious subject matter, and the off-the-cuff way I was telling them just didn't feel appropriate. I have a very diverse family, so some of my stories, like some of the targeted harassment that my family received that was creepy, also had to do with racism and things that just didn't feel appropriate for like this is a spooky story video. I'm upset. I'm sorry. It's literally not this important, I'm sure. Like, it's just a TikTok account. And I might end up sounding a little like self-aggrandizing because of the way I have to talk about some of these things, but please, like, let me make it clear that I know that I am nobody important. Like, nobody, I'm not a household name. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world that you can even Google my TikTok account and all this information shows up. Like, I get excited by those things like every time they happen. But the algorithm's really forgiving on TikTok, so there's a lot of creators with way bigger accounts than I am that are not like household names. It can be pretty easy to get a large following on there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, not even for fun. I don't make fun conspiracy videos. I do kind of ASMR, I guess, almost. Not ASMR, but people find my voice, my very deep voice, people find it comforting, and so I kind of just lean into that as a narration voice for telling the history of secret societies or fraternal organizations. No conspiracy theories. In fact, I shut them down when they pop up on my page. No adrenochrome, or I'm not even quite sure how you say that. I don't even think that's right. That should show you. But I am a researcher by profession. So I just kind of apply that to internet mysteries, secret societies, and sometimes I post art because I also do art and graphic design by trade. So the point of this video is that TikTok is turning me into an actual conspiracy theorist just in regard to the way they treat their creators. So if you follow me, you might have seen there was a little bit of drama on my page. Not drama, but drama with TikTok because they banned me from posting for a full day. And then when they came back, they took me out of the creator fund, which I know happens to people. But a lot of times when that happens to people, I've seen that it's in regard to like true crime and things like that. That wasn't the case. I very rarely cover true crime stories, and anyone who's seen my videos knows that I am careful to the point of getting mocked. I'm careful to the point where people are like, why are you saying unaliving? And like, very careful. I've actually had people angry with it before because you're not using strong enough language to condemn a horrible thing. And I'm like, I'm hoping that you guys can just use context clues because TikTok will ban me. But I was very shocked today for what I actually finally caught some bans for. So I was stopped from posting, and then when I was able to again, I got a system notification that says I was banned. So I just want to tell you guys, if you are not a creator on TikTok, I have just under 300,000 subscribers or followers. Again, I know that's in this day and age. There are girls and guys I've never heard of on Instagram with millions. Like, I know that's, but for me, it was enormous. Like, I actually had my Facebook memories yesterday, where I was celebrating 300 subscribers or followers on Tumblr for my art. I was like, this is everything. I think I have 1,000 on there. So 300K is mind blowing. When I hit 10K, I was mind blown. So, but you guys should know, if you're not like in the creator fund, if you don't create on TikTok, they treat the creators like the actual things that start happening to you if you get strikes and things like that to your content. People complain about YouTube. Now, I don't have a big enough presence here on YouTube to tell you quite. I love how I say I'm not a conspiracy theorist and then I have that behind me. It's a joke. Me and my husband made that with like mysterious package company, and anyway, not the point. I know that people complain about censorship here on YouTube, but the level of censorship on TikTok is mind-blowing. And I have 2 serious strikes, okay, that have resulted in me being removed from the creator fund. But let's go even before that. So there was a while that I'm just going to tell everything here because I'm frustrated. Other things that I haven't really talked about, such as I had a little bit of like targeted harassment from Reddit for a while too. So for a while I had really hit my stride on my page. I was regularly getting 500, well, I would say closer to like, it was between like 70K and 2 million views, like 2 million being my top, but I was consistently going up into the hundreds of thousands, which was overwhelming. It was kind of hard to deal with. I kind of preferred being around 50K, and that was happening regularly. My follower count was growing every single day. Some of the people that I followed on TikTok, the same time that we had matching follower counts, those people now have like 1 million followers, and I don't. So there was a point where where things started feeling off. The first thing that happened was I would go to post my videos, right? And it would show 0 views, and when I clicked back to my profile, the video would flash. And I could tell that nobody could see it. When you have a certain amount of followers, you get, even if you don't have even if a video does terribly because of you, like, and obviously the views, they could have dropped off because of me. I'm not arrogant enough to think that's not possible at all. But just the nature of like that things pop up on people's following feed, even if you didn't do a good job, you're going to have a few views, like instantly, at least 2 views instantly. And the flashing was weird. So I had my husband check. I'm like, can you see this video I just posted? No, the video is posted. They will make it look like the video is posted, but it's not really posted. It's under some kind of manual review process. This got exponentially worse. I used to hand write my captions on my videos. This got exponentially worse when they implemented the automatic captioning. Every video I was posting. And there are ideal algorithm times to post on TikTok. I'm sorry I'm a little over the map. I'm mad, to be honest. I'm gonna show you guys soon the video that got me banned today for hate speech. I'll get to that. I'll show you both of them. I noticed as soon as I started doing the captions, the automatic TikTok captions, that my videos were constantly doing that. The flashing, the 0 views, the not actually showing up to my husband. They were under manual review, I would guess. And I would post them at algorithm times from my analytics that would be really good, and they would come out between an hour to 7 hours later, meaning they would completely tank because they weren't coming out at the right time. So that was the first thing that was happening, and it started happening more and more incessantly. And I started leaving captions off just to test my theory. And it helped. But my view count was like steadily declining. Well, I I think I'm mostly known on TikTok as like the secret society girl for the people who have ran into me. If you're like, who is this lady? You may have seen there's a video of me unboxing mail from a famous group called The Orphanage. It's a famous unsolved mystery on the internet. It's called the Mayday Mystery. And the secret society behind the mystery is called The Orphanage. And there was a video that went pretty big. Like, I was actually surprised people recognized me on Facebook that I didn't know in a group I was in. And that video went pretty big, just under 1 million views. And it's like a anatomical chocolate heart is what they sent me the first time. Well, at first, all of my Secret Society mail unboxing videos did really, really well. That one did really well. The other ones at least went into the 100,000s. Well, recently I received a package, and I've received a package from Freemasons, and I'm receiving, I won't say that one yet. Anyway, I received a manila envelope from the group The Orphanage behind the Mayday Mystery. And there's a video of me opening it, reading the letter, showing the mystery. If you're not familiar with the mystery, it won't make any sense, but I'm going to insert that here. An ordinary college campus, their student newspaper, and a local successful lawyer who seems to be a genius but otherwise just a regular member of the community. Yet somehow these three things have been interconnected in a decades-long mystery called the Mayday Mystery. Students at the University of Arizona noticed that there were these expensive full-page ads being taken out around May 1st every year. But one student, Brian Hance, became so invested that he began documenting it and still does to this day since the 90s. A secret society lies at the heart of the Mayday Mystery. Most people who follow it are fascinated by a man named Robert Hungerford, who is a local lawyer who places the ads. I've gotten to know Bob quite well over the years, and today is the 4th package I've received from the orphanage, although this one specifically was from Bob. I don't know yet if it's just a gift or if it's a clue, but usually with Bob, even in his emails, there's at least a clue. So with that background that some of you are super familiar with out of the way, let's go to unboxing. Be right back. Okay guys, so it looks like I was correct and that this is just from Bob. I'm just covering his address. My address, that's my P.O. box, and as I've said before, you guys can send things there, so that's okay. But this is unique because it's the first time that it hasn't been like a big package. It's a manila envelope. Interesting stamp choice. Alright. There's a letter here on top. Okay guys, so there's a letter. I don't know who Mr. Bannon is. Like, I know it looks familiar, but I don't remember. Dear RG, that's me and Mr. Bannon. The underside, speaking for the orphanage, is duly impressed with all of the current efforts of the Mayday Mystery fans on the popular platform FB, Facebook, I guess. That said, vital data that should be evident upon analysis are being overlooked. There are also repeated suggestions by contributors that steganographic. I don't know what that is. So my husband looked that up. Apparently it means hiding something secret and something that is not secret. So they say that's involved. Draw your own conclusion. It is further suggested that part of the matters remaining to be resolved would be facilitated by greater pictorial examination. So basically it goes on to say they've sent the hard copy of the same email I received not long ago, and they've underlined that they're in the proper sequential posting, which is not currently the case. Signed in the most literal sense, adieu, Robert Truman Hungerford for the orphanage. And then we have this letter, this handwritten letter, RG for your aesthetic inventory. Signed Bob. That's interesting. This looks to be some of his legal heading. And guys, the rest of this is just the same thing I was sent the email, the document, and I have that video up if you're new here. So clearly what Bob's saying is that, you know, I'm missing something, which is not surprising. So yeah, back to the drawing board. Now, the reason I felt comfortable to insert that is because as much as people complain about YouTube censorship, you have to understand this is the level of TikTok censorship. This video was removed for illegal goods. It's literally a letter and some nonsensical cipher stuff. I had submitted an appeal. I contacted TikTok to no avail. I'm making this video out of sheer frustration, but not just for me. I'm also trying to make this video because like the way they treat their creators in general is mind-blowingly bad. Like, it's mind-blowingly bad. And look, I know it's dumb, right? I know that there are people on TikTok that have a viral video that has 10 million likes, and like that's never happened to me. I don't think I'd like that. The ones I've had that went big were not. The comments always go funny in my experience around like 60K views. Like they always start going like nitpicking the weird, like mad at the most random stuff. Anyway, And I know that there's people like that that go super viral and people follow their account, and then the person posts kind of random stuff and it's not that interesting, so they don't really do anything. But I tried really hard, and I know a lot of other people try really hard to maintain a similar audience that you would have on YouTube, right? So I have three things I do, three kind of avenues. I do the Secret Society histories and unboxings, I do internet mysteries, and I do art. And even then, it's all kind of in the same mysterious, spooky vein. I'm Portraits of Ghosts because originally that was all I did. I did that on Instagram too. I drew portraits of famous ghosts and I told the ghost stories in a voiceover. So I try really hard to keep a consistency on my page, to make nice cover photos. I edit my videos to look spooky and make sure that they always have, you know, sources and photos. That video that I showed a second ago was removed for illegal goods and services. TikTok never could tell me why. No sense. Makes no sense. And they never told me why. They didn't get rid of the strike, obviously. Well, recently I did a series on Bohemian Grove. Oh, I want to point this out too. Here's what's especially just mind-blowing to me. One of the last videos I did, the last video series I did, because a lot of times I do series. The last video series I did right before Bohemian Grove was on a YouTube mystery called Sad Satan. Now that was a channel called Obscure Horror Corner on YouTube that reviewed this deep web game, and then he stopped posting ever again, etc. Well, the game kind of has ARG elements, and there's a big debate around whether the whole thing was a hoax. The point I'm trying to make was within that game, there is a photo. A lot of people think the game also could be an artistic expression about child exploitation, like anti-child exploitation. There is a photo of Jimmy Savile, and I said his name. So just keep that in mind for what I'm about to tell you. I delicately explained who he was as to not be banned and also as to not upset people. But I said his name. So then I did a series on Bohemian Grove. Me and my friend Elena, and we do podcasts on this channel, so if you do know what's going on. We had just filmed a podcast. We filmed a podcast on Alex from Tennessee. It's an internet mystery. It's from 4chan. And we were just hanging out. And I said, oh, I'd like to do a Secret Society video because I feel like I'm kind of slacking on that kind of content. I said, oh, I should do Bohemian Grove. If you're not familiar with Bohemian Grove, the actual group is called the Bohemian Club. And I have a compilation on here on YouTube because once I started getting banned, I freaked out and I started making compilations of all my stuff. But basically the Bohemian Club is like some of the most powerful people in the entire world. And this is where I'm starting to be like, don't turn into a conspiracy theorist. Because it is weird though, like Bohemian Club is a group of the most powerful people in the whole world. This is not an Illuminati conspiracy theory. I don't believe in those things. I mean, I believe, because I study the linear history of secret society as a pet project. And you can see the influence from the Order of the Golden Dawn, you know, all the way up to, you know, and Rosicrucianism, all the way up to like Ordo Templi Orientis. You can see the way that these groups' ideals feed into each other, and there is an academic way to look at them. Again, I get a lot of commenters that are confused about that aspect, and I have to be like, no, I don't think, you know, I've been accused of being on the side of people that eat babies, like, and I have to be like, no, that's not what's happening. But I am starting to wonder about the influence of some of these people. So Bohemian Club, George H.W. Bush was a member, Walter Cronkite, Newt Gingrich. I mean, it's not even just American, like those are American names, but it's world leaders. They get together for 2 weeks out of the year and they go to Bohemian Grove. It's a retreat. They also have a clubhouse in San Francisco for just the society, but they get together, and it seems like the pipeline is from the Skull and Bones, which is the secret society at Yale. That's like the real big connection, Skull and Bones to Bohemian Club. So they get together for 2 weeks out of the year, and they party, they drink, they do spoken word poetry, philosophy, etc. And they do this really, really outlandish opening ceremony called the Cremation of Care. So me and my friend Elena, we watched a YouTube video about it. Well, it wasn't even a YouTube video. That minimizes it and makes it seem like, oh, of course, that was your research. It was a History Channel show that was re-uploaded to YouTube, okay? So this was on the History Channel. It wasn't just like some conspiracy theorist ranting. The Bohemian Club is a real thing. It's not a conspiracy theory. And I dared to mention a man named Alex. And if you are familiar with the story, you'll know what I'm saying, but now I'm scared to say his name anywhere. Because it was directly relevant to the story. A very famous, polarizing, often memed conspiracy theorist named Alex. Last name starts with a J, okay? I dared to mention his name in the second part of my TikTok series. Now, it wasn't in support of AJ. It was just because even in the History Channel program we'd watched, I'd taken notes and then I did additional online research. He is the only person to have ever successfully snuck into Bohemian Grove, and he filmed, like he got footage, right? I want to put in that video just so you guys can see, but I'm worried that, I think I've heard that YouTube will copyright strike the footage of the Cremation of Care. He filmed the Cremation of Care, which is their opening ceremony. Now, should I put it in? Because I want to get this message. I want to get the message out there about how weird this is without doing something that'll potentially get this taken down. Well, you saw the first example, illegal goods. Ridiculous. So basically, I just said in the video that AJ was the only person to ever sneak in, and I described what happens in the Cremation of Care, and that was it. And I showed the clip of the footage that AJ took in Bohemian Grove. Now, I know that AJ is banned on all social media platforms, and I understand why. This was not like a pro AJ video, okay? It really wasn't. I totally like understand the harm caused by some of the things that person has said, but it is a fact that he's the only person to have ever snuck in. It's not a matter of, I mean, that would be like, I'm not allowed to say Tucker Carlson's name like he's Voldemort, even if I'm saying, Tucker Carlson is deeply irresponsible the way he talks about vaccines. That would be like if I wasn't allowed to say that just because I said his name. It's absolutely ridiculous. So just in case, if you would like to see the footage I'm talking about, it's the second clip in the compilation I put up entitled like Portraits of Ghosts Secret Society compilation. I just uploaded it. In fact, it'll be the video right before this. So they hit me within 1 minute. Within 1 minute, TikTok hit me with hate speech. Now, I could see if they hit him with it. Just so you know, there was not a clip of AJ in the video. There was no clip of him speaking or anything. It's literally just the little grainy footage from Bohemian Grove. And there's a picture of him just so, like this person. No clips of him, so you can't even make the argument that like, okay, well, you platformed a video of him and that could hurt, be hurtful. There was no clip of him. I just referenced him, and not because I'm a fan or because I just was going to show his footage because I was talking about their opening ceremony, the Cremation of Care. I actually, despite this is more for the, the meme. Despite this, I'm actually like a very level-headed person. Like I work in academia. Well, I'm trying to kind of leave that and go into field work right now. But I have for the last few years worked in academia. I consider myself like a fact-based person who's just interested in the weird things that the world has to offer. But like, I like the factual side of them. TikTok is doing something weird. The way that they slowly penalize you and really, okay. So after they hit me with the illegal goods strike, my views were really stilted, worse than normal. I couldn't crack 1,000 views. And that's not, yes, you could say the videos maybe just sucked. The videos haven't really changed. So they could just suck. I'm fine with sucking. Family friendly, as Peter Mom would say. I'm fine with, like, people just, maybe they're bored with it. Maybe they feel like I've done it too much. I'm fine with that. If you experienced this, though, if you are a TikTok creator, you know it. It's happened to you. If you talk about anything remotely controversial, you've seen it happen. Like, I got that strike, and then they started curving everything. Like, my views were, like, it's not even about the quality of the videos being under 1,000 views for, like, 3 days. It's about the fact that I have nearly 300,000 subscribers. And TikTok operates on, like, a system. I think most people know this. There's the For You page, and then there's the following page. Well, when you have that large of a number of followers, it's crazy that, like, they wouldn't at least be able to just see you scrolling the following, which I know more people scroll the For You, but, like, it doesn't make a lot of logical sense. And I noticed it right away, and I was like, ooh, I've kind of heard about this. Am I being punished? Okay. Then my follower count starts dropping, even though it's on a day where I hadn't even posted anything. So it's not like I upset people and my follower count hit. That has never happened. Think about all the times you're on TikTok and you see, like, a cool story and you're like, oh, I'd really like to follow that, and you hit follow. How many of you really go back to that person's page at some point, especially if they're making the exact same content, which I am? How many of you even think to go back to their page and hit unfollow? I never have. Maybe, well, I can think of a few times where I really just didn't like the person and they kept popping up and I was like, oh, I just don't like this person. I'm not saying that couldn't happen. But on a day, right after that first strike, on a day where I had not been posting, I dropped like 500 followers. That's the kind of thing because I'm still not like a huge creator. That's the kind of thing that happens if you have a controversy. Nothing happened. So I knew it was happening. I could tell. And of course, the manual review thing, the flashing 0. Well, this was the big one. I posted that video. That just the only thing, hate speech like that. That's a heavy thing to level against somebody too. And you can go review that footage. Again, I want the message of what I'm saying to get out here, which is that TikTok treats their creators absolutely horribly. By the way, they already don't pay you really. I've been maintaining a lot lower views recently, a lot lower ever since all of this. But I have kind of crawled back up there. That's another weird thing. I did sort of a collaboration with another big TikToker who tells ghost stories, so I drew one of her ghosts, and that boosted my follower count. The next day, all those people were gone. Like the next 2 days, all my new followers were gone, just about. Why would they unfollow me that quickly when it takes me a while to research things. Why would they unfollow me that quickly when I'm not even really posting because I'm researching my next videos? No sense. It makes no sense. TikTok is definitely they suppress your content. But yeah, I don't know. I know I'm kind of all over the map. They treat their creators terribly. Actually, I think YouTubers, I was going to talk about pay. So here's the thing. I've known a couple YouTubers just in weird ways. And I've also kind of just heard things, and with the kind of subscriber count that I have, or follower count I have on TikTok, if I had that number of subscribers and views on YouTube, I would literally be like at least upper middle class by now. I make sometimes like the most I've ever made for a mega viral video, or to me, like millions of views in one day, was $60. That was my top earning. Just gonna be honest, because they've completely cut me out of the creator fund for saying a polarizing figure's name. There are people with my subscriber count on YouTube who literally live in high rises, and Rich Lux, he has designer bags and things like that. It's just unbelievable. As much as people complain about YouTube censorship, it has nothing on TikTok. TikTok slowly and methodically breaks down your content. Apparently, they've now started, if people go to follow an account, they will say, be warned, this person, this creator has multiple violations, but like the things that they give you strikes for are inane and ridiculous. I mean, it's just beyond. Like, I know, and I hate that I'm so flustered and all over the map in this video, and I'm going to post it anyway, because if you are happening to see this and you're not familiar with me, this is not remotely the kind of content I do. I feel like Trisha Paytas on the floor. I do like very like researched, you know, I do like a spooky voice kind of, I do, and spooky music, and you know, and then we do the podcast style. But yeah, I usually make about 5 cents to $1 a day on TikTok. And today they removed me from the creator fund, when people on YouTube with the same count like are buying designer bags and like moving into like fancy homes. And look, I'm not doing it to make money, but it is like, it's a lot, it's actually a lot of effort. And maybe that's partly, I'll acknowledge that a lot of people get on TikTok and they make like, sometimes I see jokes that are literally videos that are literally 3-second jokes that go, you know, mega viral, and they probably make like have 3 million likes. I've never had a video that big. I've had videos with, my biggest video had 2 million views, but it didn't even, you know. So I'm sure they make a nice little chunk of change for making like a really silly, well-timed, fast joke. And I think that, you know, TikTok probably views that differently than YouTube content, which is a lot longer, typically. But I do like full series, research, effects, you know, photos, music, like the full thing, captions. Well, not anymore because they're monitoring them, I guess. But like, so it's a lot of work. I would love to transition my entire audience to YouTube, but I've been promoting my YouTube for quite a while, and I have just under 300k subs on TikTok and like just under 1500 on YouTube. I don't even have enough watch hours to monetize my YouTube. And again, it doesn't matter, but like, just to tell you a little about me, if you don't know anything about me, like, I've had kind of a tough year, like with the lockdown. I think we've all had a tough year, right? And some people have had it much, much tougher than me. So I'm not trying to complain, but you know, I am immunocompromised. So that's kind of what pushed me to start doing TikTok. Was like, I was just so miserable and bored because I was terrified to go out, and I'm vaccinated now, but with my compromised immune system, I need to get tested to see if I developed the antibodies correctly. But I was so bored and miserable, and I had this interesting Ted Bundy story, and I was like, oh, I think people would like that, you know? And even for somebody who's nobody, it's been super, super cool, like, just for people to tell me like, wow, I look forward to your content, you know, you make my day better, I check your profile. Like, I've been an artist, well, I've been drawing and, you know, working in the arts since I was 9, and I've had so many days in that time period, like more days than, I mean, it's embarrassing, I'm just being honest. I have had so many days in that time period where like I would just feel defeated, cry all day, because I thought, why did I dedicate my life to something that's so impossible to do professionally? It's such a struggle. And I've done some cool things, and I work at it every second I'm awake, like to the point where it drives my friends and family insane. Like, I'm sitting there, you know, crocheting, cross stitching, sculpting, drawing, painting. At any given time, I just have something in my hands. And I've been so frustrated and discouraged, like, I'm not getting anywhere with this. So just, I only ever wanted to make things that people liked. And this has been like the coolest experience. And I'm heartbroken because I can't just transfer all of my followers. A lot of people, by the way, I talk to them. Like, I'm lonely and I like talking to everybody. Like, in the comments, I like just talking about spooky things. Like, there's just no way, especially with TikTok suppressing my content, there's no way to move everybody over here. So it sucks, because it kind of like, for a minute, like, I was gaining every day. I was like doing really well. I was going up and up, and it feels like they intentionally stomped me out. And also, I am a little suspicious about the subject matter. Just to be honest, like, I promise you, not usually a conspiracy theorist, but I promise you it is very strange that I have emailed, I have sent feedback multiple times. No one at TikTok can tell me why that video is classified as hate speech. And that video is about the Bohemian Club. Again, powerful members, not just even from our country, but the entire world. And that's the video that got me banned from posting. And I was able to post this morning finally, but am banned from making money. It feels like a very suspicious punishment. But even without that, because maybe that's just a huge, reach, it is factual that Bohemian Club is comprised of the most powerful people in the world. That this is not like a Illuminati garbage. That's factual. I mean, you can, if you want, the program that we watched that I found fascinating and very informative was History Channel's Decoded. It's on TikTok, or it's on YouTube. If you search Decoded Bohemian Grove, it's fantastic. It's like 45 minutes. It's really good. It's just the history of the group. So, yeah, do I think powerful people could be mad, especially because they say in that program, they said in that History Channel program that they couldn't show Alex Jones's footage because technically he didn't have the consent to film it. So now if TikTok was honest about that, and if they were like, hey, it's a copyright strike, you don't have permission to share this footage, I would concede the point, and be like, you're right, this is private property, that's that kind of footage. But that's not what they did. They accused me of hate speech, which is offensive, to be honest. Like, it's offensive to ban somebody and then send them extremely, reprimanding messages about something they did not do, okay? None of my content is hateful. I'm not a hateful person, to anybody. So, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I know this is happening to tons of creators. I've been told by tons of people, oh yeah, if you get big enough, they'll knock you down. They'll suppress your content. Other creators see this happen. The same things I'm describing, the manual review, the caption inspections, your follower count dropping for no apparent reason, views plummeting when they were only rising before. TikTok hates their creators. YouTube might be kind of tough on certain things, and I'm not saying that they're ideal, but they pay their creators well. And anyway, that's my piece. I may try to edit in at the end here everything from that Jonas Brothers Alex Jonas Brothers video that got me banned from the Creator Fund, and I'll just take out the section of his actual footage just in case, but everything else I'll try to leave the same. And if you want to see the full thing, compilation before this has all 3 parts of the Bohemian Grove. The third one I couldn't even save. I had to screen record because it was still in my drafts. So it's got the full thing. And you can tell me genuinely if I said something hateful, I would love to know, because I don't want to say things that are hateful. And I'm sure there's going to be people, that say in general just mentioning Alex Jonas Brothers is hateful. And, but here's the thing. I was scrolling TikTok this morning and I saw somebody who had his voice as a song meme, and it said his name and everything. Probably was recommended to me based on the algorithm because I had said his name. I just don't understand. A lot of people, there will be probably people that say just even, putting him in something is harmful. I'm not promoting him. That wasn't my intent. My intent was just to state a fact that I learned from the History Channel. So, might be polarizing, I don't know. But I don't think I said anything hateful. I'm confused. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated for other people who are trying to do something kind of cool and different on TikTok and just can't. And then maybe it's the only cool thing that they've had happen to them, like me. And now I just don't get to have it anymore. And it sucks. It does suck. It sucks that it's going to be something that, I'm still going to, as long as they allow me to post, I'll post. I think I'll live without the nickel. It's not about that. It's it's weird. Like, if you have somebody who's doing really well for your platform, you think that these places would reward those people instead of punish them and knock them down. Anyway, if you made it this far, I know this was long. Thanks for watching, guys. This is part 2 of talking about Bohemian Grove. And in this part, we're going to talk about the ritual opening ceremony and the only person that's ever successfully broke in. Maybe you've heard of him, his name is Alex Jones. Bohemian Grove is a retreat for the very rich and the very powerful. And for 2 weeks of the year, they gather in the California redwoods, and they start their 2 weeks of partying by worshiping at the feet of a giant owl statue, which is, by the way, 40 feet tall. The ceremony is called the Cremation of Care, and it's a ceremony that's been going on for over 100 years. Former member Walter Cronkite's voice echoes from inside the giant owl, and fires burn all around this giant statue that's meant to represent knowledge and the pursuit of it. A carriage pulled by black horses arrives carrying a casket and an effigy. Members are meant to put their cares inside and burn it. Alex Jones snuck into Bohemian Grove, and while he's a polarizing figure, this is a true story. This is the footage that Alex Jones secretly recorded at the opening ceremony, the Cremation of Care. Since Alex Jones' proverbial joyride through their opening ceremony, there's a guard shack now. And that's in addition to the slew of guards and police officers that monitor the front gate. Alex Jones entered through a back route. He literally swam through a swamp. Probably met a lot of frogs. Sorry. The History Channel's Decoded certainly got a surprise when they tried to enter Bohemian Grove for themselves. And if you're interested in seeing that, follow for part 3.